Now, when we examine the Star Wars sequel trilogy, it's pretty safe to say that by far, one of the most mysterious characters has got to be Supreme Leader Snoke, that was first introduced by director J.J. Abrams in The Force Awakens, and will have bigger explanations in The Rise of Skywalker as to his past, and even the origins of the First Order. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. So, one element of Episode 9 that a lot of people are really eager, very excited to learn more about is, of course, everything related to the past that will be explained in Episode 9. Basically, what J.J. Abrams is going to be doing in Episode 9 is that he will be explaining certain revelations that are set in between the originals and the sequels, as well as in between the events of the prequels and the originals. So there's a lot of stories to tell here that could really be expanded off of The Rise of Skywalker as well into future novels and books and comics, you name it. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very intriguing for Episode 9 between Kylo, the Knights, Snoke, and yes, even Anakin Skywalker. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing is that a description of Kylo Ren and his Knights of Ren entering what's described to be an abandoned First Order base that once belonged to Supreme Leader Snoke. It's described that as the Knights attach explosives to a large blast door and blow it open, it leads them to Snoke's vault where many secrets of his past were left behind intentionally. It's said that Kylo eventually takes off his helmet as he begins to look around the vault that will be a part of the story and a telling of the origins of the First Order, one of which is a moment where Kylo activates a large hologram of Supreme Leader Snoke from many decades ago around the time of the prequels, where Snoke's appearance is more youthful, with less injuries and deformities. It's described that in the Snoke hologram, Snoke reveals to Kylo indirectly that he, on multiple occasions, had mentally connected with Anakin Skywalker before his turn to the dark side in Episode 3. It's unveiled that Snoke played a large role in the growth of Anakin's power, which eventually led to Sidious realizing Anakin's potential as a Sith Lord. The sequence is said to keep going where the Snoke hologram sets up the story of Palpatine and even includes many foreshadowing moments in the film, as well as revelations of the connection between both Snoke and Palpatine. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that J.J. Abrams will be exploring many elements of the past. Now, I want to go over this connection between both Snoke and Anakin and how he played somewhat of a role into the growth of Anakin Skywalker's power just before he turned to the dark side of the Force. Now, like I say, and like I have always said, there is going to be a lot of storytelling techniques in Episode 9 that is going to change how we view the prequel trilogy era, and this by far is definitely on the top of the list. So I'm not quite sure how it would really line directly up with the continuity and other characters and how they played a role in Anakin's life, but one thing I will point out here is that we do know that J.J. Abrams is a fan of Anakin Skywalker. In fact, he even wanted Anakin to appear in Episode 7 that never made it to the final cut of the movie, and is working on his return in Episode 9 as we speak. So the thing that I like about this film so far is that it also is telling the story, the origins of Snoke and the First Order. Vanity Fair actually confirmed this not too long ago, that the origins of the First Order would be explained, and apart from all of that and apart from them, we also know that Snoke will play a role in those origins. So what's really interesting to me is that this Snoke hologram that was stored intentionally in this abandoned First Order headquarters on an unknown world based within the Outer Rim that Kylo and the Knights eventually go to and claim it as their own. That's where they eventually blow open a door that leads to Snoke's vault, where the hologram begins to play. Kylo Ren activates this thing after taking off his helmet, and learns a little bit more about his own grandfather, Anakin Skywalker. Now, as you all know, Snoke explained in the novelization that he saw the rise and fall of the Empire, and that was all told in the Force Awakens novel. And he saw everything from start to finish, right? And he knows basically almost everything, ranging from masters and apprentices to, of course, even his own master being Kylo Ren, as we have gone over before, these past months, give or take. So, with everything being laid out in this sense, where he played a role in Anakin's life, somewhat of a role at least, it really does make one wonder exactly where J.J. Abrams is going by changing the prequel trilogy era with the use of the Rise of Skywalker. Again, like I have always said, this is a big risk, and if Disney and Lucasfilm really wants to play with fire, it seems like that they are doing so, and it could either turn out to be something great or something bad. It's all about execution, right? It's all about how the dialogue is going to be laid out. It's all about the pacing, how it's shot, how it's acted, and exactly how it's just going to really fit into the stories of the Skywalker saga. It has to make a lot of sense. It can't just be thrown in there for shock value. It does have to have connections to the past films where you can go ahead and point at it and say, ah, that makes sense. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.